my channel. My name is Tam. I am a oil painter. I do this part-time. It is my my side hustle, I guess, if you will. I am a mom to 3 boys, and I'm making a go at trying to do this full-time. I have kept hearing over and over again that artists should definitely make YouTube pages, so here I am. I am a type C mom, which is I wish to be organized, and I am not managing it very well because I'm severely ADHD. Anyway, yeah. So I don't actually know what direction I'm gonna go with this here video. Not yet. This is gonna probably be a few things. But mostly I just want to encourage like any other moms out there. If you want to do a side hustle, do it. We're gonna find time. I may dabble into like trying to figure out if I can try a new routine and see if that works out for me. I'm terrible at doing routines. I mostly paint in realism. I mostly do still life. I do plein air sometimes and landscapes when I do plein air, obviously. And right now I'm doing a portrait, which is a little out of my wheelhouse, but it's doing okay right now, and I need it to be done because it's due this weekend and it needs to be dry. So I'm not even close. So I'll be working on that while I'm chatting with you. I don't know what else I'm going to be chatting about, but we'll give this a go. The last video I listened to, her name is Kayla. She said, just video yourself talking. So here I am. I'm videoing myself talking. And hopefully in the future I will have a better idea of like what direction I'll be talking about. Depends on what feedback I get, you know? So this is what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll go a little bit into my story. I have been drawing since I was a little kid. What am I working on? Right. I need to do some paint mixing. Anyway, so I've been drawing since I was a little kid, obviously, as all of us artists say. And went into like, middle school, high school, did all like the advanced art classes, had like 2 art classes and a design class in senior year, and it just seemed like the next step to go to college. So I did. I went to our local college, down in Richmond, and VCU, go Rams, undefeated football team. If you know, you know. Anyway, so I ended up studying illustration and design. So that is what I actually have my bachelor's degree in. And you better believe as soon as I got out of college, I started working as a bartender. So I was a server, bartender, and then I worked in a cake decorating place, which was really fun. Probably the closest I'd gotten to actually using my degree. And then I left there because like for the pay and the hours, it was just too much, and like it was just stressing me out. And loved the job. One of my favorite ever jobs that I've had. Also learned how to bake cakes because we had to bake and then decorate them. It was amazing. I love that I have that experience under my belt. I just realized there's a piece of this jacket that I didn't do. Glad I still have the yellow out. Anyway, at the end, I'll show you what I've been working on, and you can see the mess that hopefully will turn into something that won't be too much, I guess. I don't know. Again, very new to portraits. I typically try to sell my paintings, and portraits are notoriously difficult to sell. But this one, while it is going to be for sale, the originally creating this was not. Anyway, we'll get back to that. I do go on tangents a lot, and I'm trying to work on that, but we're going to do our best here. Anyway, so I went to college, went bartending, serving, cake shop, back to bartending, serving, and then I got a job at a bank with insurance, because we know we love insurance and all the benefits. So I worked at a bank for about 10 years. Or at a bank. I bounced around a lot. I didn't do front end. I did back end mostly. I worked at mortgage specifically, first in mortgage processing, which is helping you get the loans for refinances and purchases, and then for government claims, post foreclosure claims. And so I loved that job too. I don't know. I love I am bizarrely fond of working in the cubicle jungle or forest. Maybe it's because like my brain really likes the routine of like going in and like having the same things like at the same times. But anyway, I ended up leaving that in 2023 and ended up staying home because my youngest of my 3 boys is on the spectrum. He's got a little neurospicy going on. Anyway, so I stayed home with him, and then now I am home full time. I paint in the evenings. I just started painting again. Actually, like I've done some one-off commissions here and there, but like it wasn't anything I was trying to like be really consistent about, and they really weren't great. You know, looking back. I had gotten carpal tunnel pretty bad, and like it got worse when I was pregnant with my last kid, and then in 2022, he was born in 21, I had that carpal tunnel surgery, and I tell you what, that surgery is amazing. I mean, if you're like where it's bad enough where you feel like you need the surgery, yes, your hand's gonna be wrapped up in gauze for a couple weeks, and you're not gonna be able to lift anything, and you're just, it's gonna hurt. But all surgery has recovery time. My hands might not be as strong as they were like grip wise. They're pretty all right, but it just gets so much better. So like immediately better. Anyway. That's when I started painting, was in the fall of 2022. So I've been painting again for about coming up on 4 years, and I feel like I've made a lot of progress. If I can think about it, I'll try to add in some thumbnails of the progress that I've made, like just a more recent painting. I do mostly still lifes. I do a lot of shoes. There's a whole thing in my mind about shoes. About them being an evidence of a path walked. Yeah, I guess similar to like footprints, but this is evidence that you're taking with you. So like everywhere you go, you're gonna be probably, not always, wearing shoes. Like, so most of these like big, unless you're, in Die Hard and having to walk barefoot around a building with glass everywhere while you're shooting up terrorists, that would mean that experience has no shoes. Anyway, so most of the experiences that one has is with, like, they take their shoes with them. Like, you just don't think about it. Your shoes are going everywhere with you. So it's kind of, and then like usually when you grow out of shoes, unless you're really not having hoarder tendencies like me and a good segment of the population, like once you've gotten rid of shoes and you moved on because you need new shoes, your shoes are like torn up and stuff. Like they hold so many specific memories of things that you've done. They're like so they're not generic nostalgia like the 90s, which was awesome, or the 80s, which has stellar music. But like they have specific, because they've been to specific places that you have been and they went with you. So it's really like they represent like the path you walked, and some people have a really hard time throwing them away once they've had them, especially like say a loved one's like a father has passed away, and then like you have his old shoes, you have a hard time getting rid of them even though they're kind of gross and they smell and like everything else. But I don't know if that's why I started painting shoes, but that's one of the reasons I've continued painting shoes, because I really love it. My first pair that I painted were my son's shoes. I'll try to remember to put it up on the thing there. And now I realize that I should have filmed this like sideways. Anyway, so I do a lot of still life. I do a lot of shoes. I work in realism. There's so many things I want to study, do studies of, to make myself better of hands, specifically because of this painting I'm doing. Going back to why I'm doing this painting of a portrait, even though I know it probably won't sell. So this is, and I'm sure other artists can relate, this is a picture that I've gotten of, that has been in my photo library for like years. Because I told myself as soon as I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, I want to paint that. I love it so much. Actually, it's a musician. He plays the accordion. He plays locally in Richmond. His name is... Oh my gosh. Oh no. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Anyway, back. His name is Barry Bless. He is an accordion player that plays, a musician that plays in Richmond a lot. He's such a distinguished look, and a friend of mine had caught a picture of him a couple of times when he was playing live at a local coffee shop down in Richmond called Crossroads. I don't live in Richmond, which is why I say down in Richmond. And he just has this eclectic, amazing look to him, and I can't stop looking at him, and I just want to paint him. In my mind, and this is something that other realist painters might connect with. I'm thinking like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna make it really impressionistic, and oh, it's not. It's not. I get sucked into the details every time, and then I love it, and it turns out really cool. But I'm not trying to do photorealism. Like, it's not photorealistic. I don't think, but it's realistic. So I just go with, like, I don't think I'm doing hyperrealism or photorealism. It's just realism. Maybe because I try to find paths that are not as obvious. Maybe that can just be black. Sorry, I get ADHD. Anyway, so I finally, I'm gonna do this. I got a show coming up in my gallery. I do have a gallery. I'm a member of a co-op gallery up in Kilmarnock, Virginia. And they have their biggest, they have a big Labor Day show every year, and I try to do, my biggest pieces of the year, because I don't work big generally. And I wanted to turn this in. I don't know if I will. I don't know if it'll be done enough, because I don't take it if it's wet. And I'll have to, bake it to get it dry. And then this other one back here that I did. Anyway, there is a lot of ums in this video. I'm not used to talking in front of the camera. I have done, embarrassingly, because again, I'm type C and I have a hard time keeping my house clean. A year or two ago, I was filming on TikTok for just me cleaning my house because my house is gross. I have 3 boys and I'm super ADHD and I'm not great at cleaning the house. I've gotten a lot better, admittedly. Actually, at the time I was on an anti-anxiety drug because I had anxiety, not cognitive, but physiological anxiety from having kids, and it got progressively worse, and so I was on that, which I finally got off of this past spring, and weirdly my house isn't as much of a problem as it was. This is my studio, which is tiny, and I have a lot of stuff, but what do you do? Anyway, so I am starting this YouTube page mostly to just kind of share my life. I want it to be relatable to other people who are doing a side hustle, regardless of what it is. I want to share my art because, of course, I do. I want to, connect with people because I love connecting with people. And share some of my knowledge, maybe. I might do some paint with me videos. I might just do some progress videos. I might do some tips on getting into a gallery. If I get experience with giving it, I'm in a gallery, but I'm a co-op gallery. So yeah, I have to be juried in, but I really just have to join the gallery. Be a member of the gallery and then get juried into the wall, and then I pay wall rent. So that's not really the same as gallery representation. So when I get that, I'll share how that happened. Co-op is a great way to go because you do get into the you get the experience of having to have the inventory and having to update your wall, having a place to display. It is, some artists are really not fans of the co-op co-op style gallery, and that's totally valid, but it does give you something on your resume, if you were to share your resume as an artist, an experience showing somewhere in the upkeep that you would have to do to keep your wall up to date. and it gives you opportunity for sales. So why not? I like the wall rent that I pay is not so bad that I can't cover it with my painting sales there. I do find that if I, like enter shows there, I am more likely to sell something than just have stuff on my wall. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So I'd love to share that if people are interested in that. I'd love to share the stories of my paintings because I love sharing that, even if they don't, people might not care. That's fine. Where else am I going to share it? Like, I don't write the little blurbs in my gallery. Rather, they don't require blurbs, so I don't write blurbs because I'm part C, and in my head, I want to write this beautiful blurb, and I never end up, like, fishy. Anyway. So, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to share if there is anything that one would want to hear, if anybody ever listens to the video or any of my other videos that would be coming, let me know. I'd love to, deep dive into any issues. I'm not causing controversy here. Information that people would like to hear in a video format from me and my sporadic brain. So that's all. Also, if you ever want to feel like better about yourself and how you look, you just tune in because I'm not trying too hard. All right, listen, I hope you have a great day. I hope you be kind, and I will hopefully see you again. Let me know. Bye. All right, I told you I was going to show you the portrait that I'm working on, and that's Buried Bless. Here it is right here. The lighting is not great, but this is the photo I'm working from. He's just an incredible looking dude. Anyway, that's it. I hope you have a great day. Bye.